Hello and welcome to another video. My name's Axel.
I'm Sean.
And recently we attended the 20th anniversary of Futureshock Wrestling. This was night one and it was held at the MMU Union in Manchester.
We're going to bring you all the highlights from that event.
My name is the Ambassador of British Wrestling, and it's an absolute honour to be back in a Futureshock Wrestling ring after 20 long years.
The opening bout of the card saw two Futureshock originals, Deadly Damon Leigh and Joey Hayes, team up to face two Futureshock up-and-comers, Gen 1. And here are the highlights.
Go on, Joey. That's it, Pete. Slap.
So, what did you think of that match, Axel?
I thought it was an absolutely fantastic opener. Deadly Damon Leigh, as you know, is one of my favourites. He was there all the way since the first ever show. Not that I was there, we've only been going for 2 years. That being said though, he always brings the comedy. He always brings great energy to the match, and he's got a deadly moveset. Absolutely loved it. Hilarious, great, fun opening match for me.
Yeah, they didn't get the win this time. Gen 1 did manage to pin Deadly Damon Leigh. But I have to say, he was definitely one of the standouts. Him and his partner were absolutely hilarious. They had a great rapport, had a really great interactions with the crowd, and it was a fantastic opener to get the energy up and to get you well and truly immersed in Futureshock Wrestling's 20th anniversary pay-per-view. So what would you rate this match out of 5, Axel?
I think it was a very strong opening match. As we say, they controlled the crowd well. They got them pumped. They got them hyped. I'd give it a strong 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I would probably go with about a 3-star match as well for me. I feel like the pacing was a little bit off in the match sometimes. It was a little bit stop-start, but they compensated with that with some absolutely fantastic moments of humour and some brilliant spots. So that is definitely why it gets at least 3 stars for me.
So Tony Wright was announced to be in action at Futureshock 20th anniversary. Especially, how can he not be announced when he is the leading man in professional wrestling? But what happened was Sam Bailey came out and announced that he wants to fight Tony.
Yeah, it was sort of an impromptu match. Sam Bailey had a match the next night, so people were quite surprised that he had a match tonight as well. But it was bringing up an old rivalry, I think they said. They used to have a big rivalry a few years ago, and he just wanted to call him out to entertain the crowd and to squash the argument that Sam Bailey was scared of Tony Wright. So, here are the highlights from that match. Again, comedy, hilarious, and for me, it was a great match. I really enjoyed that match. What about you, Axel?
Well, of course, Sam Bailey had to be on the card, being the person that runs the Futureshock Performance Centre. I thought it was great to see him. It's always great to see Sam Bailey. Tony Wright's a fan favourite, and they do have some great chemistry in the ring. I've seen them in multiple matches before, never facing each other, and I thought it was a great, fun second match. It continued the momentum of the show.
Sam Bailey's PE teacher was in the audience. Do you remember?
Yeah. Sam Bailey's PE teacher was in the audience. Also, Briac Strong did come out in that and tried to interfere in the match, but it didn't pay off. They both ducked and dived him and slung him out the ring.
Oh yeah, God, I completely forgot about that. They did share.
He's always on the hunt. You can't escape him, but they did narrowly. So
just kicks him in the face and got him out of the ring.
What would you give out of 5, Sean?
I think mine will stick with the 3 stars out of 5, just because of the interaction, the chemistry. Like you said, they're both experienced performers. They didn't really put a foot wrong, so I can't really give it less than a 3. What about you, Axel?
Yeah, they're both definitely people that do play to the crowd quite a lot. I love how they always talk in the matches. Both of them always talk in the matches. The proper showman. It was a showman versus a showman. Yeah. And I absolutely like that. I gave the last one a 3.5. In my estimations, it didn't quite grip me as much as the last one, so I have to give it a solid 3 out of 5.
So the next match was the main event of the first half. It was billed as a triple threat match for the Adrenaline Championship. Unfortunately, Chris Ridgway got an injury before the event happened. So he was forced to vacate the title, and it became a one-on-one match for a vacant title between two of the contenders that were in that match.
This match saw Teddy Reay versus Dynamite Leigh Dawson, who would be crowned the new Adrenaline Champion.
My name is Doug Williams, the ambassador of British Wrestling, and it's an absolute honour to be back in the Futureshock Wrestling ring after 20 long years. I main evented in the very first show all those years ago, and it's fantastic to see such strong support for Futureshock Wrestling, and I hope that it continues for the next 20 years. Now I'm here to award the championship belt for the Adrenaline Championship to the winner of the next match.
So this match for me was my favourite match apart from the main event of the overall show. It's shown some great technical ability between both of those fighters. They're very technical in their styles anyway, quite aggressive, quite ruthless. I know that Dynamite Leigh Dawson had been Adrenaline Champion before. Teddy Reay, I don't think he'd ever had the belt before. Both of them was very evenly matched, and it really set up for an interesting match with some great technical spots, but also some big moves that came out of nowhere. This match for me was absolutely great and a perfect way to end that first half.
Yeah, I can't agree more. The energy was right up there. The pacing was brilliant. There was no spots where it was sort of like there was a bit of dead space, do you know what I mean? They were always active, they were always setting something up, they were always in between moves, and it was absolutely brilliant. I have to say, Teddy Reay, formerly known as 2-Bit, is probably my favourite wrestler in Futureshock. I don't know what it is, I just love his aggression, I love his style of wrestling. It reminds me a little bit of... what's his name? Pete Dunne. Do you know what I mean? He reminds me a little bit of Pete Dunne, and I love Pete Dunne. But yeah, for me, this was always going to be a great match, and it didn't let me down.
Oh, 100%.
I absolutely loved it. They had brilliant chemistry.
It completely delivered. And the thing is, in the arena, the Futureshock faithful, half of them was on Leigh Dawson's side, half of them was on Teddy Ray's side, and it was a great atmosphere within that building at that time.
Yeah.
They really put on a great show. They got it hyped. The pacing throughout it was amazing. Started off slow, showing that they're both evenly matched. It went through. One was getting the upper hand, the other one was getting the upper hand, until ultimately it was literally a brawl for all in that match. There was no stopping them. It was like two Tasmanian devils going at it until only one person got the pin. And that person, actually, until one person got the submission. And that person was Teddy Reay.
Yeah, Teddy Reay, our new adrenaline champion.
Well deserved. I'm super happy to see him have a singles title in Futureshock. I've seen him have the tag team championships with Joe Kessler, who wasn't there. I did think he was going to come out and do something in that match because I know that he's recently come back.
Yeah.
He didn't. He didn't need it. That match was perfect, exactly the way it is. What would you give it out of 5, Sean?
I have to give it like a 4.5, I think. I love the match. I love seeing Teddy win the title. And it's the sort of match I really enjoy watching, especially at a smaller venue where you can really get to see all of the technical skills at play. Whereas if you're further back at a big arena, you want to see big guys slamming people down. This was the perfect match for that sort of arena, and it really delivered. What about you?
Yeah, 100% agree. For me, I can't give it any less than a 4.5. It really drew you in. The story was great. It was two people that were fighting. And one of them was definitely going to be the new champion because Chris Ridgway had been injured, and it just felt like these guys was giving it all. They wanted it so much. It was now a one-on-one. All the odds were off, and it really paid off for them both. Great match, and I'd love to watch it over again. 4.5.
It was really, really good. Really good match.
So the first match of the second half, and actually the penultimate match of the night, saw Lily Winters come to the ring, who was advertised to have a match, and she was going to call out somebody.
Yeah.
She was in the ring, delivering a promo, and she happened to call out the person who was making Instagram reels in the arena, and that person was Hollie, who apparently is an ex-Futureshock champion, but retired a few years ago. Here's the highlights.
Hollie, you were in this ring, and I was the girl on socials filming your matches for the Instagram story. Only one of us has had a glow up. So get in the ring. Retired. He's a former Futureshock Women's Champion. But you probably forgot about that because it was the shortest reign in history. Your best friend Lana betrayed you, and you didn't even see it coming.
Shut up. Come on!
So Lily Winter versus Hollie. It was a really interesting match. It wasn't the most exciting. It felt had a bit of a squash match vibe, didn't it, really? I have to say it's probably my least favourite match of the night. Not because of anything to do with the two in the ring, just because it didn't have any real stakes. It felt like you knew Lily Winter was going to win. I thought there was actually some really good moves in there, and actually they put on a really good show. There were some really strong moves in there. So it wasn't a bad match by any stretch of the imagination. I just think, Lily Winter calling out someone who hasn't wrestled in 4 years. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I mean, did they give a bit of the story when Lily Winter was doing her promo? Because she was saying such things that, when Hollie was the champion, Lily Winter was doing her Instagram reels, and now Hollie's doing the Instagram reels because she's tired, and Lily Winter's in the ring and, thriving, etc. So there's a little bit of a story there.
Yeah.
I'm not somebody that's been watching Futureshock for many years. I've only been watching it for 2 years, so I didn't really know who this Hollie was. The Futureshock faithful probably did. There was a little bit of a story there. The match was okay in what it delivered. Even though this girl had been champion in the past, it was a real underdog story. I'm just calling you out. Can you beat this person? Get out of retirement kind of thing.
She didn't even get in the ring. She got dragged in the ring.
She did get dragged in the ring,
It's just like, get in!
Exactly. Lily Winter, we've seen since we've been going there. We've seen her become champion. We've seen her lose the championship.
Yeah.
And, she's a great up-and-coming superstar.
She's great.
Within Futureshock. So it was great to see her on the card. It was a different style of match, but it wasn't really one that I was that into, admittedly.
I have to say, the best thing about that match was Lily Winter's cape. When she came down with that cape, mate, I love that cape, mate.
Every time.
Just takes up the whole ring.
That being said, Lily Winters, of course, did get the win. Is Hollie going to be out of retirement for sure? Is she going to get revenge? Is she going to scout someone to get revenge? This is something that I do now want to see. Even though I didn't enjoy the match so much, there's so many possibilities of what could come from this storyline. What would you give it out of 5, Sean?
I thought it was good. The pacing was a little bit off. I think, I don't want to say ring rust, but that you kind of want to say that if someone hasn't wrestled in so many years. So maybe that was it. I said before, it felt a little bit like a squash match. I'm still going to give this one 2.5 stars because I did really enjoy it, and there's some really good moves in there. But if I'm comparing it to all of the other matches that I saw that night, it was definitely my least favourite.
Well, that's the only thing you've got to compare it to. The rest of the match card, what you see on the night is what you get. And I 100% agree. In my mind, I had a 2.5, and that's what I'm sticking with.
Yeah.
2.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
And the final match was the main event of the evening. And what a big main event it was billed to be. This was billed as an 8-man tables, ladders, and chairs match.
TLC for the title. Unfortunately, it wasn't a traditional tag team tables, ladders and chairs match because there was no apparatus for them to hang the titles from. So the match would be decided by pinfall.
This match saw the current champions, the Northwest Saviours, go up against Wagon, the Horde, and Forbidden Planet. Except one of the members of Forbidden Planet, Aiton Steen, had been attacked before the event, so the other member had to go at it alone. Here's the highlights.
Where is he? Come here! Come here! Okay. Oh. Thank you, mate.
Yes! Chair, come on. Authority.
And as you can see from those highlights, that match was absolute chaos. Pure carnage all over the arena, which is exactly what you want from a tables, ladders and chairs match. Even though they wasn't climbing the ladder to get the belt, it was still all out war.
Oh yeah.
What did you think about it, Sean?
There were some fantastic spots with the tables. They went through with absolute brutality and power. They used the ladders really well. It was a bit scary sometimes, which is what you want when you're watching a TL, because you're worried about the wrestlers.
Especially when you're in a place so enclosed and you're so close to the action. It makes it a bit more real, doesn't it?
I have to say there were some questionable chair shots that were that weren't given the oomph that I would have liked to have seen, but they made up for that with some absolutely...
Maybe they were just exhausted. They were trying their hardest.
Yeah.
Sean.
But
they're just exhausted.
They made up for that with some absolutely brutal table spots and some insane ladder spots. I mean, one of the members from Team Wagon got thrown straight into a ladder from a suplex, and the welts on his back.
Welts on his back.
Oh my god, I felt the pain when he hit that ladder. I was like, oh, it was a proper steel ladder as well.
Yeah.
So it was absolutely amazing. It's everything you want from a TLC match, bar them getting the titles off the top, which obviously couldn't happen. But they made up for that. And what I liked about it as well was there wasn't too many pinfalls to like compensate for the lack of climbing the ladder. Like I would have hated to see just people keep breaking up. There was probably maybe 6 pinfall attempts in the whole match, and it was all about spots, and that's what you want in this sort of situation. It didn't seem forced because there was so many. It was spilling out all over the crowd. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
and I
great.
loved that match.
You seen one of the people from Wagon grab my phone and smash the guy from Northwest Saviours' head onto the railings right in front of me. It was absolute carnage. It was great. Another standout moment there was Solomon on the stage getting put through the table by 5 guys. It was like the Shield all over again. It was absolutely great. It was absolutely
He was dead
great.
after that, mate. Didn't come back.
Yeah, he didn't. We didn't see him again. That match for me is something that I probably didn't expect from Futureshock. Now, you know, it's not like I don't always expect the best from them.
It's a family show, though.
But it's a family show, yeah. You don't expect to see this
Extreme Rules match.
yeah, so hardcore in such an enclosed environment.
Yeah.
But Futureshock did it so well. And because it's something that they don't do so often, it makes it that even more special.
Really
Do you know
does.
what I mean?
Really does.
And so the match resulted in a humongous spot from the Wagon, getting one guy on the shoulders, the other guy climbed up the ladders, did their finisher right through the table.
Yeah.
Absolute brutality. The Wagon, 1, 2, 3. And of course, Northwest Saviours lost the belts. And what happened to one of the team members of the Northwest Saviours, Sean?
Rizman Khan, he retired. He retired, hung up his boots in the middle of the ring, got a very warm send-off. Big round of applause from everyone at Futureshock. All of the wrestlers that were in the ring were congratulating him and thanking him for his time. And he was very well received. And I think that was a little bit unexpected. I'm not sure if that was hinted at or people knew about that. It seemed like a bit of a shock to people when he started unlacing his boots.
Yeah,
but
he just started doing it.
Yeah, just started unlacing his boots, and everyone knows what that means.
With that being said, on to the ratings. What would I give that match out of 5? I've got to go with 4.5 out of 5. I can't give it a 5 out of 5.
Chair shots.
One, I didn't get what was advertised. So I wanted to see the belts above the ring. Normally that wouldn't, you know, it doesn't really take away from the match, but you are 100% right. It's the chair shots.
Yeah.
I've got to be brutally honest here.
But, do you know what? I'm actually going to be a bit kinder than Axel. I'm going to give it 4.9. Okay?
We don't do 0.9s, we do 0.5s.
5 stars then.
Alright.
Because even though 5 stars with an asterisk.
Okay.
All right? So it's 5 stars, but I wish the chair shots would have been a bit harder.
If you do want to see Futureshock Wrestling, then I would absolutely urge you to go down there. We're not being paid for this. We're not sponsored for this. We're not advertising this. We do it purely because we love Futureshock Wrestling.
Absolutely.
We love to go there. We love to watch it. We talk about it, so why not review it? And I would urge you to go, no matter where you're coming from, go down to Futureshock Wrestling. You're not going to have a wrestling night like it. If you can't get to Futureshock Wrestling, then they do have a subscription service online that you can see. Every single episode of Futureshock is filmed and put on there. I can't remember how much it is, but I will put the price on screen for you now so you can subscribe to that, catch up with all Futureshock Wrestling. They've got all shows on there that they ever have recorded. Their next event coming up is at the MMU, and it does have a very special guest appearance. The Gore Machine, Rhino, is going to be appearing, and I can't wait for that. Hopefully, I'm going to try and get down there. It is in October. We usually have a lot of stuff going on.
October the 19th. So
Yeah, we've usually got a lot of stuff going on in October. I hope to get down there for that. That being said, that's everything that we've got time for today. My name's Axel.
I'm Sean.
And we'll see you in another video.
Bye.